Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Nakib Irfan bin Muhammad Kani. My speech is about Alzheimer's disease, a disease that has affected so many people I know, and is a concern how it keeps affecting and destroying family members. Before I start, I want you to imagine something. Look around you. You know everyone, right? All these faces you see almost every day. Take all you know about them and forget it. Can you do it? I can. So try imagine now that can happen to you or someone you know. This disease gets so bad because you can ever remember your family, your mother, even your kid. So the reason why you should listen this speech because I think this disease is a very serious disease nowadays. You probably thinking that will not happen to you. Well, according to the Alzheimer Association, every 17 seconds, somebody is getting affected by this disease. In 2020, more than 46 million worldwide are living with the Alzheimer disease, and the number is expected increasing to 131.5 million by 2020, which the majority are from the lower and middle country like Malaysia. Actually, Alzheimer's disease is a disease that fall under the dementia. Dementia is term that sum up your memory loss, language loss, and loss the ability to solve the critical thinking. This loss is caused by the damage to the cell brain and it interferes your ability to communicate. In this case, the dementia is considered to be an umbrella term, which means there are several different diseases that fall under the dementia. One of the most common form of the dementia is Alzheimer, because Alzheimer disease affect up 60 to 18% of the dementia cases. So, how this topic is relevant to us because everyone have the elderly family member that close to us like our grandfather. After having a little bit research, I have discovered that it is rapidly affecting the elder population. In this speech, I will discuss about how it changed the life of those who have this disease and how to reduce our risk from the Alzheimer's disease and other dementia. So now, I will discuss about how it changes the life of those who have this Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is a brain disorder that slowly destroys a memory, thinking skill, and eventually the ability to carry out the simplest tasks. So when we look to this chart, we can look the Alzheimer's disease take a higher percentage of the disease in Malaysia. In other words, it tells us Alzheimer's disease is a serious disease and famous among the Malaysia. So, how the Alzheimer's disease affect us? This disease affect us by changes in the brain. Changes in the brain may begin a decade or more before the symptoms appear. During this early stage of the Alzheimer's disease, toxic changes are taking place in the brain, including abnormal protein that form amyloid plaque and tau-tangless, which is it disrupt both internal and external neuron function. In this case, healthy neuron will stop functioning, lose connection with the other neuron and die. There are three stages of the Alzheimer's disease, which is mild stage, moderate stage, and severe stage. The first stage is mild stage. In this stage, people will experience greater memory loss, other cognitive difficulties. In this case, problem can include wandering, getting lost, trouble to handle money and paying bill, repeating questions, and taking longer to complete normal daily tasks. And also, personality and behavior changes. People in this stage are often diagnosed. The second stage is moderate stage. In this stage, damage occur in area of the brain that control language, reasoning, conquest, sensory processing such as the ability to correctly detect smell and sound. In this case, memory will lose, confusion grow worse, and people will begin to have the problem to recognizing family and friends, and they may be unable to learn a new thing, carry out multi-step tasks such as getting dressed or cope with a new situation. In other addition, in this stage, people may have the hallucination and delusion. So the last stage of the Alzheimer disease is the surf stage. In this stage, plaque and tongueless spread throughout the brain, and it causes the brain tissue shrink significantly. So when we look to this picture, which is this is the normal brain shape and this the Alzheimer brain shape. So we can imagine how the Alzheimer disease affect our brain. People in this stage cannot communicate and are completely dependent on others for their care. Near the end of their life, the person may be in a bad mood or all of the time as a body shut down. Now, I will discuss about how to reduce our risk from Alzheimer disease and other dementia. So the best way is keeping active by doing a physical activity, because physical activity is good for our heart, circulation, weight, and well-being. There are two main types of physical activity, which is aerobic activity and strength building activity. Each type will keep you fit in different way. When you're doing this activity by combinations of this activity, will help you to reduce your risk from dementia. So aerobic activity is help you for to keep your heart, lung, and blood circulation healthy, and it's also good for your brain health too. Moderate activity is anything that makes you breathe faster and warm. Other than that, vigorous activity is anything that makes you sweat or get out of breath after a while, making it difficult to talk without pausing for breath. It's also a good idea to spend less time sitting or lying down and more time moving. So now, the strength building activity is towards your major muscle like a leg, back, stomach, shoulder, and arm. This activity help you to do everyday tasks. This type of activity also help you to control the level of sugar in your blood and reduce your risk from the diabetes, which is the main factor for dementia. In conclusion, people with the dementia need to be treated with the kindness and with the knowledge that they can still enjoy life. Physical and chemical restraint should be used only as a last resort. There are many proven alternatives to physical and chemical restraint that are the mainstays of the individualized care. Activity of daily living are disrupted in those with the dementia. As the dementia gets worse, family members and caregivers must step in assist with the personal care and household management. Individual and group activity can provide a sense of accomplishment and well-being.